talking about this issue of human trafficking, I'd say, half the battle is trying to understand what does that mean for us locally here in Colorado. So many people want to other this issue or say that it happens over there in Thailand or in the Philippines and it can't possibly be happening here. A lot of folks come into this issue through movies, through media, through news stories without really understanding it. So there are basically two different categories of trafficking. One, labor. And what does that mean in Colorado? That means things like agriculture, construction, mining, migrant farm worker possibilities and opportunities. For the sex industry, we're talking about prostitution, stripping, internet selling of people for sex. But I would say that what receives a little bit more attention is probably the sex trafficking side, because it includes all of those elements that really compel people to watch. It's violence, it's sex, and saving victims. So one of the things that we do when we train professionals is for them to understand that it's different than smuggling, that when we're looking at smuggling, it's really somebody agreeing to be, in most cases, transported into this country. But that's really a crime against a country's borders. Smuggling can turn into human trafficking in that once that agreed upon smuggling occurs, that the person doing the smuggling might say, we used more gas, we transported more people than we were expecting, and in addition to the $3,000 that you gave us, it's an additional $2,000. And if that person doesn't have that extra $2,000 in their back pocket, chances are that debt will then be held over their head. Well, now that smuggling has now turned into human trafficking. Happily, we're able to lend what we do on this college campus to survivors of human trafficking. We've been fortunate to help survivors who are able to get through that crisis stage, and once they're stable and they're in a safe place, to attend college. So really higher education becomes that resource for them to gain independence and to find different ways for them to be making money and to be safe and stable. So we've had many survivors come through. At this point, all of whom have been women, but forced into the sex industry. And we've been able to usher them through the process of admission to college and to help them navigate financial aid and things of that nature, help them get courses decided. And so now they're among us. So it's impossible for me to other this issue. It can't be this thing overseas because they're here. They're students on this campus. For survivors of trafficking who are interested in attending college in preparation for us to serve them through the Institute, we needed to make sure that we had folks trained, and that included divisions like the Healthcare Center at area, the Metro State Counseling Office, financial aid, and the registrar's office. So over the last year, we've had periodic trainings just so that they can understand the unique needs of these students. I can't imagine a better institution, honestly, in this state to serve trafficking survivors because of the nature of our student body. We've had half of our survivors who are foreign national, and how comforting is it for them to see faces of color on this campus that, relative to other institutions, we are best positioned not only in the city, but to provide a context and a community for them to feel a part of.